Hey guys, it's Kaylee. Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another What Sold video. I'm a little late again this week. I took another weekend off. You gotta do what you gotta do. This week's sales are going to be from May 17th through May 23rd. So that would be Saturday through a Sunday. And I sold on two different platforms, eBay and Poshmark. And I will share those sales numbers with you, do a breakdown of each of the platforms, give you cost of goods, everything like that. And then I show you a few highlighted sales from some of the items that sold last week, so you know what items that you might be able to find at your thrift store and make some money on. Alright, so starting with eBay, the first sale I wanted to show you were these set of mugs that I found at the thrift store. I believe I picked these up for $1.25 each. They weren't sold as a set, but I did see that there were multiples of them. I'll occasionally walk through the hard goods section, and sometimes I'll look at mugs, not always, but I have found some really great single vintage mugs lately that sell for 20 to 30 bucks. So sometimes I like looking through the mugs. These ones caught my eye for obvious reasons, which are the colorway of the item. Only one of these had a sticker on the bottom, which you're not going to be able to tell here, but on the sticker of one of these, I was able to make out that these were by the brand Lint Stymist, and then I did look that up and found out that these were really popular mugs that were going for a lot. I think I saw one single one of these mugs that went for about $30, and comps were kind of all over the place. I decided to take a chance on this since these seemed like the colorway that was the most popular. And I really like the thumbprint detail at the top there, and I knew that they would look really great in pictures and capture people's attention. So these did not take long to sell at all. I think I've only had these listed for maybe a week. I listed these as a set. They had a total of 5 at the thrift store. I listed them for $79.99 with free shipping, and they sold very, very quickly at full price. I probably could have asked more for this item and then held out longer, but I don't like storing hard goods, and I especially don't like storing things that are breakable because I don't want to knock them off the shelf, and in general I don't like shipping breakable items, so if I can move it quickly, I price accordingly. So these as a set sold for $79.99 with free shipping, and I think it cost me, I ended up putting these in a medium flat rate box, so it cost me between $12 and $13 to ship. Overall, a really fantastic flip, and if you come across this brand, Lint Stymist, I think is how it's pronounced, this is a great brand to pick up. Next are these pair of men's Nike Flyknit Chukka shoes. These are something I always look for in Nike. I definitely don't pick up every pair of Nike shoes, but when they have the Flyknit, I'll look over the condition, and even if they're a tiny bit beat up, if they're still wearable and no major flaws, I'll go ahead and pick them up. Usually it does say Flyknit on the tongue, but not always. And the material you're looking for is really identifiable. If you touch it, you'll probably know from then on what it feels like and what it looks like. But these are a Lunarlon Nike Flyknit, and these happen to be the Chukka style. So I had these priced at $39.99, and the buyer did pay shipping. They sold at full price. These are just a pair of Fabletics women's leggings in a leaf print. I love picking up Fabletics, and they usually sell between $25 and $30 for me, depending on the print pattern, the style, if they've got pockets. A lot of contributing factors, but I'll almost always pick them up if they do have a nice pattern to them, which these ones did. As I said, these are the leaf print. I also like to put abstract in the title when it's appropriate. These are a crop length, which usually sell a little less for me. Had these listed at $24.99, and I sent out offers to watchers, and someone ended up accepting an offer of $21.24, and I think I paid about $5 for these at the thrift store, and these were a quick flip. Next is this Garnet Hill Women's 100% Cashmere Cardigan Sweater. Garnet Hill is a brand I really like to pick up. They're well known for their wool cashmere sweaters, and usually that's the only time I'll pick them up is if they are 100% cashmere or 100% merino wool. This one was 100% cashmere, and it was a charcoal color, so in general it didn't photograph very well, but it was a cable knit, which was another detail that I liked. It was also an extra small, which sometimes can be a longer tail item just because of the size. So this I did have for a little while, but it did end up selling for full price that you see here, $30. Next is this pair of Johnny Was pants. These are a line off of Johnny Was called, I don't know if it's pronounced Calm or Calme, but here is what the tag looks like. This is the only time I've ever found Johnny Was, and it was kind of an unexciting find for me just because usually Johnny Was is really well known for their embroidery, but I was still really happy to find it, and I did pick it up because it was new with tags. These were 100% organic linen, which I really liked, and if I remember correctly, let's see, I don't have it here, but I think the price tag on here, I don't usually like to show it, but I think it was close to $200 maybe. So really nice item. Even though it wasn't embroidered, it was a good name brand. It was new with tags, it was a wide leg, and it was 100% linen. All great contributing factors for picking up this piece. I had it listed really high because I wasn't sure what to sell this for. I had it listed at $99.99 or best offer. Someone sent me an offer for $60, and since I had been sitting on these for a little while, I think, again, just because it wasn't embroidered or anything crazy, so I did go ahead and accept that $60 offer, which I thought was a great flip for this item. Next are these pair of men's Coogi jeans. I gotta say, this is one of those brands that performs really, really well or really terrible, and it depends on what you have. I definitely don't pick up every pair of jeans that I find in this brand. In fact, I come across them quite often, and I usually don't pick them up. I picked up this one because it was a more modern cut with that slim leg. It seemed to be a more modern style. And then this had enough detail on the patch that I was able to look up this specific jean and saw that it had sold in the past. I listed mine for $49.99, and it did take a little while to sell, but they ended up selling for full price, $49.99. Again, I definitely wouldn't recommend picking up every single pair of these jeans that you come across, but if you look them up and you see that this style has sold, it could be a good flip. Next is this dress by J. Jill. This had a lot of attention, but nobody ever committed to buying it until now, so I have been sitting on this for a little while. This is a brand I like to pick up. It's a little blurry. Apparently I wasn't taking great photos back then, but here is the brand, and this one was 100% linen. I like picking up her pieces if they've got really great materials, which some of the lines of her clothing do. This one felt really nice. It was a linen midi dress, so midi is really popular right now. And then I also put minimalist in the title. Well, actually I put minimal because I think I ran out of room, but a lot of her pieces could be classified as a minimalist style, so I always make sure to put that in the title where I can. This one I had listed for $34.99, and it did sell at full price. Next is this belt by Cabby, or Cabby, however you want to pronounce it. I find that in general these belts in this brand do really well, and I honestly used to pick up a lot of this brand in clothing, but it no longer does very, very well for me unless it's a unique piece. But I do find in belts that this brand can do pretty well. This one was really unique. It had woven leather details. I haven't been sitting on this for very long. I had it listed at $29.99 with free shipping, and it did sell at full price. belt section is definitely one that I feel like a lot of people look over, but these are really easy to store, really easy to ship, and most of the time people are passing this area over, so you can find some really great stuff. It's not picked over. So if you're not already looking for belts, you're missing out, because $20 to $30 flips, sometimes more depending on the brand, are just sitting there waiting for you to grab them up. Next are a pair of Lululemon Wonder Unders. I picked these up for somebody and they ended up not fitting, so I think I paid like $27 maybe on Poshmark, and then I went ahead and flipped them onto Poshmark. As you see here, these ended up selling for $40, but they were a quick flip. I got my money back and then a little bit. But that just goes to show, if you buy a gift or if you buy something for yourself, don't be afraid to flip something back onto Poshmark. I assume a lot of people are familiar with the Lululemon logo, but if you're not, here's what it looks like. Most of the time the tags are ripped out inside, but sometimes you can still find the size dot on the inside, which this one had here. And Wonder Unders are the style of this legging, and they are super, super popular and they flip quickly. Next, I've had this for a little while. These are a pair of Levi's high-rise shorts. They are vintage. My pictures are a little blurry because I used to have to screenshot to move pictures over to CrossList, but now I have List Perfectly and it does it for me. And taking screenshots used to blur the pictures. It would take down the picture quality a little bit, so that's why it's kind of blurry here. In general, I will pick up vintage women's Levi's shorts. Basically, no matter what the style is. These ones were the 551 Relax Fit, great size in a size 14, which probably would fit like a 10 or 12 now. But I get them, and sometimes I'll cut them off, sometimes I'll distress them myself, but sometimes I'll just list them as is, because some people are looking for these to basically DIY and change into what they want. I can usually get between $25 and $30 for these, and these ones did sell for $25. Next is this bag that I did flip on Poshmark. So I bought this at a lower price on Poshmark and then I flipped it on Poshmark. So this is just a faux leather fringe backpack, and I was really looking for leather bohemian bags, and this one popped up even though it was faux leather. Really great condition, felt basically brand new, maybe used once. You can see here it's not really a special brand, but it had the right style. If I came across this bag at a thrift store, I would definitely pick it up. This one in particular had a lot of interest and it sold pretty quickly at $40. Next is this Oscar de la Renta 100% silk scarf. I used to come across these a lot at the bins and I've since sold out. I think this is the last one I have actually. This one was a really great color. I can usually sell them between $20 and $30. So also, like belts, don't pass on scarves if there are some good ones. And like I said, you can find these at the bins. You can also find them at the thrift store. And again, those sections are usually passed over because people don't think that they're worth a lot. One of my best flips to date was a $300 scarf that I found at the bins. So this one is by Oscar de la Renta. I really like the floral pattern and just the colors. Usually on silk scarves, it'll have some kind of branding embedded into the fabric. And then sometimes it will have a tag, but usually it's printed out of the scarf. So this is Oscar by Oscar de la Renta, and I find that this is a really popular brand in silk scarves, so I usually pick them up if they're a decent pattern. This one in particular, I think I picked up for like, I don't know, like 20 cents at the bins, and it sold for $20. Next are these pair of Nike men's color block joggers that I found at a Goodwill. I paid $4.99 for them, I believe, and I gave them to somebody else and they decided they no longer wanted them anymore, so I flipped them back online and they ended up selling for $27 very, very quickly once I got them up. These ones kind of had the different colored backing, and then again the color blocking. It even had a small spot right here, and I was still able to sell it for close to 30. Probably could have held out for 35, but I like quick flips. Any kind of modern Nike jogger pant like this does really, really well for me, so I almost always pick them up. Next is probably one of my favorite flips this past week, and it's these Trip NYC goth pants. And I came across 2 pairs of these at an Ohio thrift store, and I thought I had heard about the brand before but never came across them. And so when I came across 2 pairs of them, I thought that they might be worth looking up. They look like basically something you'd find at Hot Topic. This brand might have even been sold at Hot Topic at one point, but they go for good money. Some of them, most of them are about the $50 range, but some of them go even higher than that depending on what you've got. This one did not take long to sell at all, and you can see it's very noticeable. It's got a lot of zippers and chain detail, but if you were to look at the tag, you might not think that it's worth anything. They're also in juniors sizing, so this was a size 1. So I had this listed, I think at $65 or $55, and someone settled with me at $45. And for a quick flip, I thought that that was an acceptable price to sell these for. I do have the other ones listed, and I think those are going to sell for about the same price. So if you come across Trip NYC pants, definitely worth picking up. Next is this Lucky brand denim trucker jacket. This was a men's denim jacket, and Lucky brand is well known for their denim jeans, and then their jackets can do pretty well. I've seen jackets go for a lot more than this, but the sell-through rate isn't great, so that's why I was willing to take a lower offer. This was a size medium, and I really like the modern distressing details, the stonewash details all over, and it has a little bit of whiskering throughout the arms. I think I might have had this listed at 50 or 45. I got an offer for 35, which I accepted. This I picked up simply for aesthetic. This is not necessarily a brand that's worth a whole lot, but I really like the way that the embroidery fell on this garment. I like the pale light blue color. Had the kimono sleeves. Kimonos are really popular right now, especially if they're a bohemian embroidered look. Here's the brand tag. Again, not something I'd necessarily go out of my way to pick up, but I did like the style of this. Had this listed at $29. I actually priced it up on Poshmark. I usually add $5 or $10 to each item to allow for offers versus eBay, where I can set the price and not allow offers. So I had this listed for $5 higher at $29, and someone just went ahead and bought it outright. So I was really happy with that flip. Next is a brand called Vero Moda, which is not something I was really familiar with, but I just like the look of this jacket. This was a faux leather jacket in really excellent condition, and it had the style name on the inside called the Poly Short. Good size at a size large, and this photographed really well. I think I had it listed at $35. Someone went back and forth with me, and we settled at $27. This was an online pickup. Thrift stores in my area are opening now, but before, for the past couple months, I've been doing nothing but online arbitrage and buying lots basically off of platforms or going to a reseller's sale and then going through their whole store and adding items to get a bulk discount. So this one I think I picked up off of eBay, and I just really love the color of this. I don't think that Endless Rose has a great resale value, Endless Rose being the brand, but the color of this was just too pretty to pass up, and it was a great size at a size large. I think I've said it before, but sometimes I'll pick up things if I know that they're gonna photograph really well and just be striking and something that people cannot ignore, and I thought that this was unique enough for that. So this one sold at $27, and it sold really quickly. And last item I wanted to show you was this Harley Davidson, just a graphic t-shirt. Now, I don't pick up every Harley Davidson shirt I come across. In fact, they used to sell for a lot more, and they don't. Only certain ones do now. So I'm actually very cautious now of the ones that I picked up. You can see this one's from 2012. I really like the obvious graphic that it had, and it was a unique color in a purple. So I'll only pick up stuff if it has enough unique detail and compensating factors for it. Another factor that this one has was that it was a size 3XL, so a really large unique size, which I think helped to sell it. So this one sold for $20, and again, I wanted to show you this one because people think that Harley Davidson flips really quickly, and it actually doesn't. You could end up sitting on items, so make sure that you have enough compensating factors to pick up that particular t-shirt. Alright guys, so that's it for what sold last week. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Drop a comment down below. Let me know how your sales are going for you. Have you hit the summer slowdown yet? I'm thinking here in the next couple weeks that's going to hit for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.